My name is Nicole and I'm 26 years old, and for a few years now, I've been dealing with a bit of a stalker problem. Here's my story. This all started when I was 19 years old and I was in college studying to become an engineer. And one of the classes I had to take was mathematics and science, and it was kicking my ass. So before I fell too far behind, I decided to go to the tutoring station and get me a tutor. They assigned me this guy named Noah, and they gave me his email and phone number and told me to contact him later to set up a date. I did later on that day, and we decided to meet later on that week on Thursday at 3 o'clock. When I got there, I expected him to look like your typical nerd or geek, but he actually looked the exact opposite. He was handsome, muscular, blondish hair with a well-kept beard and mustache. He honestly was the living embodiment of a Greek god. At first, everything started off normal. We only talked when it came to tutoring, like when and where we were going to meet up, and of course during the tutoring sessions itself. One day after a particularly long tutoring session, Noah invited me to go out to eat. We both were hungry since we've been there studying all day, and I was complaining about having to go home and cook something. We didn't go anywhere very fancy. We just went to this local lounge and talked and chilled. He was actually a pretty cool person to talk to. He's very funny and intelligent at the same time. He knows how to keep a conversation going, and there's never a dull moment when talking to him. After that, a few weeks later, we actually started becoming friends and hanging out outside of tutoring sessions. A few months later, in between semesters, Noah invited me to this frat party that was going on. Everyone was there drinking and smoking. Even me and Noah got a bit drunk. Like, not so drunk that we wasn't aware of our surroundings, but just drunk enough that we said things that we normally wouldn't say. Basically, to make a long story short, we told each other that we liked each other. And one thing led to another, and we ended up having sex that night. When I woke up in the morning, Noah wasn't there. I thought about calling or texting him, but I decided against it because I wanted him to think about his emotions and process what happened last night. And to be honest, I had to do the same. A few days later, Noah texted me asking me to meet him at a coffee shop. I agreed, and when I got there, it was instantly awkward. We both barely spoke and just sat there waiting for the other one to break the ice. I finally decided to speak, and I told him that everything I said that night was real and that I would be willing to explore these feelings if he wanted to. He told me that he felt the same way and that he would also be down. Me and Noah dated for about 2 years, and for the first year, everything was perfect. He was very affectionate and always very warm. He always made sure that I felt like I was wanted. But the second year is when everything changed. He started acting very possessive. He didn't want me to hang out with my friends. He didn't want me to go out without him. If I looked or spoke to a guy, like saying hi or just looked at him for 2 seconds, Noah would freak out. He even wanted me to stop going to school and going to work. He said that he could take care of us. But the final straw is when he laid his hands on me. We were having an argument about me going out and hanging out with my friends. He didn't want me to go, and when I insisted on going, he slapped me. He apologized profusely, but I wasn't going for it, and I started to go pack my bags. He kept pushing me and telling me I wasn't going anywhere, and it got so bad that eventually I had to call the police. When the police got there, Noah just kept saying to me, "You really called the police on me," and started calling me all different types of names that honestly I don't want to repeat. When I finally got done packing my stuff, I was turning to walk out the door, and I saw Noah was in the living room. He stared at me like he hated me with all his soul and said that this isn't over. But honestly, I didn't think about it too much. I was just so happy to finally get away from him. And for a long time and a while, I was happy. I started back hanging out with my friends again. I started going out like I used to and just enjoying life. But the good times didn't last for long, as Noah started obsessively texting me, telling me how he misses me and how he wants to get back together and that he's sorry for all the things he's done. But when he saw I wasn't going for it, he started texting me things like he was saying when we broke up. I finally had enough, so I went down to the police station and filed a restraining order and blocked him from everything so he couldn't contact me anymore. I thought this would be the end of it, but little did I know this was only the beginning. 2 months after the restraining order, I started getting texts from random numbers detailing what they would do to me when they find me. I knew it was him and tried to go to the cops with this information, but they told me that they couldn't prove that it was him, so there's nothing they could do. Then I started getting pictures of me in my house on the porch, changing clothes, cooking dinner. I even started getting pictures of me at work. Once again, I tried to go to the cops, but they told me since there was no evidence, it was him, there's nothing they could have done. I felt so helpless. Then they started sending me pictures of me at the park, me at the grocery store, me getting some food. I really don't know what to do at this point.